Hey, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is February 7th, 2021. Before we get started, this video is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security, and I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Also, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it. And leave a comment. I do try to answer all of them when I can. All right, so let's get started. So this is the cues, just to kind of identify the kind of market that we are in. We have the beautiful uptrend, and coming in out of last week, we had this bar right here, and this made me very, very cautious because we had not closed below the 23-day EMA in a very long time. So this was a pretty good close on volume below the 23-day EMA. Second distribution day clustered together. I was real nervous. Monday rebounded, but didn't, obviously make a new high. So I was still cautious here. And then by the end of the week, I was back to be pretty much fully invested. Bull market is back on. I don't care about the low volume here. It doesn't bother me at this point. I think right now things are just fine. Can we get some more choppiness going forward? Very likely. But if we're picking the right stocks and we're in the right universe, I think that should hopefully minimize the amount of choppiness that we have. All right. So with that being said, let's get back over here. With that being said, let's go into some stocks. So I have 23 setups, potential setups. Again, there's other great stocks out there, but so many now are extended, and things like I'm in apps. Just had an amazing day. This won't be on my list because it's just not ready to go. Things like skills. Skills again just extended like crazy, so I'm not going to put this on the list for this week, even though it may show up later lists if it sets up again. So we have 23 names that are setting up, and I have 7 potential short squeeze type names, a little bit different type setups. All right, so let's start. First one is going to be Plug. Plug, amazing run right over here. We had a double. Now we moved sideways. We're still in a potential high tight flag over here. It's a big deal. High tight flags. Good chance it doubled here. If it breaks out soon, it's good chance that we're in 1, 2, 3, third week here. Good chance that it's going to double again. We don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I do like the setup. I like how right here towards the end we're getting a real trailing off of volume. Moving averages are catching up. I like this one a lot. Plug, one of my favorites this week. Next up is going to be Chegg. Chegg broke out of this double bottom, retested, broke out, another almost retest here, trying to move higher. Earnings coming up on tomorrow. So I would not buy right before earnings personally, but it's definitely one to watch what happens with earnings. Maybe we get a gap down and then the buyers step in. Well, that'd be a pretty bullish scenario, or obviously a big gap up. We'll see. Again, it's a little bit extended, dealing with that $100 range right here. So I would be absolutely fine if this put in some kind of little handle right here, get earnings out of the way, and then broke out. But definitely should be one on your watch list. Next up is NIU. So NIU, it's broke out and now it's kind of flagging. And, just letting the moving averages catch up. I mean, you could just definitely see this $43 range is probably going to end up being important again, has been in the past. Some nice accumulation showing up here, and we have a while till earnings, so that's good. So there's NIU, and its brother NEO and IO had this, just a beast of a name, right? And now it kind of broke out. Now it's just kind of flagging right back into this support area or potential support area, and it's doing nothing wrong. Volume is trailing off. The accumulation has just been unbelievable. So you want a good risk reward name? I think NEO is probably one of the best out there right now. If it gets below 54.50ish, even you can even go down to $54. that's your line in the sand. So you're $2.50 roughly is what you're, for a potential big winner here. So that's NEO. Next up is going to be CrowdStrike. So we've just been in this range now since for about a month or so, almost a month and a half. And so would love to see it just kind of break out right here, right? Something like that. If it can get above 230, then I think CrowdStrike is starting to move its next leg higher here. Got a little bit till earnings, so things are looking good. Again, the volume here is just perfect, right what you want to see. It may have one more little pullback or something, and then the breakout. But CrowdStrike looks good. And then Net is also pretty amazing. As you can see, every pullback has been on decreasing volume, right? And it's just been going sideways again for 2 months now, just moving sideways. So we got earnings coming up real soon, though, the 12th or 11th. So just be aware of that. But if it gets above, $87, I think that's a pretty good long right there. Maybe it's getting a little extended, so may need to chop around before earnings. Then earnings, we'll see what happens. Next up is going to be CSIQ. Alternative energy is really, really hot right now. CSIQ is a solar play. The uptrend is great. You can see these little pullbacks right into the moving average, and then next leg higher, pullback, next leg higher, pullback, next leg higher. Well, we had a little pullback right here. 23-day EMA is holding strong so far. I like that. Great accumulation going on as it stair steps higher. So that's CSIQ. Next up is Lemonade. Lemonade, just gigantic move higher, came back down, has been chopping around, but holding this area really nice around the 140, 139 area. I don't love this volume right here, but everything else is okay, and there's been actually a lot of accumulation, so it's only one bad bar and a lot of great bars. And as we continue along this consolidation, you see volume is petering out. I got a little bit of time before earnings. So I think, Lemonade maybe has another run, maybe back up to, all-time highs. I don't know. Or at least challenging them, 183-ish. We'll see, but I do like the look of this chart. And the next one is going to be Schrodinger. So Schrodinger, again, we've been watching this one forever. Earnings is coming up, back to all-time highs. A little bit extended, right? About 10% extended, back to that magical $100 level. So again, nothing I would buy right here, but I'd watch out for, after earnings. Would love to see a little choppiness here. Or if it breaks out a retest or something of that nature. Again, just getting a little bit on the extended side right now, but not that much where it's not going to be actionable soon and potentially after earnings. All right, and we have Square, and Square is just and has been a true just leader. I mean, look at this uptrend, unbelievable. And so here we go. It's now making this little just consolidation. Maybe it needs to come back one more time and make some kind of inverse head and shoulders, and there's earnings right there. So it may need a little bit more time, but I think that this setup is primed to move higher, it looks. Team. So Team has this, we'll call this a cup, and maybe it's trying to make a handle right here. The volume is coming down pretty nicely in that handle. So, we'll see what happens. It may, had earnings already, so that's out of the way. We'd like to see that. And this one looks like it wants higher too. It may need a little bit more time here to build out this side. Let these moving averages catch up, but I think they're going to catch up, and this looks like it's going to keep moving. All right, NVCR. So this one is just just consolidation, right? Consolidation within a range. The volume isn't especially, popping to me, and there is earnings coming out. So just one to watch. We'll see how it reacts, especially with earnings, but definitely it should be on the watch list. All right, RPD, Rapid 7. big run up right over here. Went from $70 to $92, so 50% increase or so. Now we're just chopping around. Volume is starting to lower, maybe a little bit of distribution just recently, but we have earnings here in the 10th. So when I'm watching going into earnings and see what happens. Sumo is the next one. It's a newer name. So we got this breakout, retest, move higher. Don't necessarily love this bar right here. And then the next day we had a little follow through to the downside, but on much, much lower volume. So now I'm just kind of watching this one. The moving averages are starting to catch up a little bit. So about 10% or so below. We got plenty of time before earnings. So if we can just kind of get tight in here as the moving averages catch up, that's what I'm looking for. Utz pretzels, and I think they make all kinds of other things now, but really good pretzels. They IPO'd, I think via SPAC, and they are now, just it's definition of an uptrend, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Back to maybe a more manageable place if you're interested in this one. Probably not going to be the fastest moving one, but it's respected this 23-day EMA now since December, so for at least 2 months during this whole uptrend. So I think that we can manage risk against there and be pretty comfortable. All right, Palantir is next. And everyone was watching this gigantic consolidation after the nice move up. It did break out, broke higher, and now it is consolidating again. We had four down days in a row, kind of broke this area. I could even go here probably with this. Kind of broke this area and then has rebounded since. Volume here, as we kind of got into this down phase, has been decreasing. Lower, definitely lower than this. This is amazing accumulation right here, right? So these are big funds that are buying in. I think longer term, this is a name to be definitely aware of. Nice big bar right there. Earnings are coming up, but this is one of those names that I didn't want to just watch on the sidelines. I do own this particular one. Next up is Chewy. Mail order dog stuff and pet stuff, right? And it's, looking great. We have this double bottom. I don't know what you would call this consolidation. And it may not even be ready yet. We'll see. Needs to prove itself still a little bit, break out above, 112, 113, but it's doing nothing wrong. It held that $100 level, which is what you want to see. And all the moving averages are moving higher. So if we can, maybe it needs to just kind of chill out, pull back a little bit one more time, make it almost like a VCP, and then break out. But nothing to, this volume is very nice. Very, very nice. And then got a few more. JMIA, another one very similar to Palantir, that the potential for this one is just huge. It's broken out here, gigantic volume, 25% move, right? And just kind of meandered higher. You're seeing some profit taking in here, totally normal, but look at this volume. Like, if this doesn't get you excited, nothing will right here. Absolutely amazing, right? Giant skyscrapers, and on the down days, barely no one's selling, everyone's holding on. Just a phenomenal looking chart. This is one of those charts where you may never get a great entry. This is one of those charts where, and you could, listen, I could be wrong. It's come back all the way before. But if it's really starting to move, and we have a couple weeks to earnings, it's one of those things that may never give you a great entry, kind of like, XPI, for me at least. This was the entry back here. Good luck trying to get another good entry into here, right? It's very hard. So I think JMIA has the potential for that also. So definitely one on your watch list, or, like for me, it's in some of my longer term accounts, as well as my trading accounts, because just absolutely love. This speaks volumes right here. And it is volume, actually. It's kind of funny. All right. So there's 5 more that are kind of interesting. Actually, one more here before we go into the other 5. This is Nova, another alternative energy. They do solar. Kind of pulled back. The 65-day held. Now it's moving higher. Again, good accumulation. Alternative Energies is a hot name, so Nova looks pretty good. So going to my last five, they're kind of old names that have become new again. First one's TDOC. So TDOC consolidated literally since, where is this? Since July, has really did nothing until mid-January, right? And then boom, big explosion higher. And now it just pulled back, was very light, and now it's trying to go back up again. So I think TDOC is one that may be ready for its next move. Again, new accumulation really showing up in here. So I really like that a lot. And again, look at the decrease in volume. So that's good. Next up, DocuSign, right? So DocuSign, basically, since July, has done nothing. Not much at least, right? Um, it's been in this 25% range, and now it's starting to make these higher lows and higher highs here, which is very constructive, very bullish, still in the range, but I think DocuSign has a chance to start moving. Especially if it maybe one more little pullback. You got earnings coming up. I think there's a lot of potential here in DocuSign. Zoom, Zoom back in September had the big gap up, retest, right, moved higher, and now it's come back and kind of filled the gap. Maybe not completely, but that's not a deal breaker for me. And then boom, look at Friday, gigantic volume. We got earnings again coming up in March, but this looks like a rounding bottom to me. Could it make the right side of a base and get up to all-time highs again? 570-ish? Yeah, it's very possible. So definitely one to keep on your watch list as Zoom. Amazon, another COVID play, and it's due on a seasonal basis. I've talked about this before. The best quarter, best even half a year is the first half of the year for it, and it tends to move up. And now what are we seeing? It's trying to come out of this consolidation, right? Trying to get out of this consolidation that's been in since September and trying to move higher. I think Amazon has potential to move higher. Definitely to get, and again, these boxes aren't price projections, but definitely I think can move higher. We'll just leave it at that. The last one is mRNA. I was in it for a long time back in here. Wrote it up, wrote it down a little bit. I'm out of it now, but let's look at this. This is pretty good right here, right? You came up here, pulled back, 65-day ended up holding, and then came back up, challenging all-time highs. Actually closed at all-time highs. Probably needs maybe one more time around here, maybe some kind of inverse head and shoulders, and I think this could move higher. I just checked my time, and I'm going to go a little faster now. Here's my short squeeze ideas. I like Lovesac. Big up, sideways consolidation, looks good. PLCE, very similar look to this chart. OTRK, kind of broke out, came back, but good risk reward here, a nice accumulation going on. Weibo, Weibo has this area that looks important and it's trying to break out, so it'd be a nice place to manage risk. Also, some good accumulation coming in. Arch. Here's Arch. Again, a beautiful looking chart. Actually, very orderly and organized. Good accumulation showing up. Earnings though, so just be aware of that. If it has a good earnings, this one could really move. Zixi, one of my favorite. Or Zynex. This one looks really good, especially if it could get over this $20 range. I like this one a lot. And Dillard's. Had this big move. We've been watching it for a long time. Now pulling back into moving averages, so a pretty good risk reward. All right. So just to sum everything up, I think the market is back to a good place. I think that there's a lot of positives going on. Gave you 23 names plus another 7 short squeeze for a total of 30. Hope you all have a great week. Good luck out there. Please like and subscribe and follow me at Alpha Charts 365. Take care, guys.